Hello again, everybody. This is Shinny. I'm here to as part of my this is how to siege places video series. Starting off here with the Northwest Tower. You notice it's paper. Okay, I'll start off with the defensive siege emplacements, with brief mentions of what can attack them, and then from there I'll move into how to attack this tower, or ways to attack this tower is probably better properly put. Most often you'll hear this called the Vista or the Dome. This has a pretty singular purpose. You will put a treb up here to hit, you can see that tree way out there. One of the ways to attack this tower is to treb from a distance so that pretty much no other siege can hit it. Your one hope of defending against that is a treb way up as high as you can get it on here. And conversely, it's also pretty much the first thing taken down when someone's starting a long siege on this tower. So I treb up here, targeted kind of out towards that tree. Follow up that. When people come to attack this tower, they'll put a ballista straight across there on that first ledge. That's the probably easiest way to get that treb down. There are other ways. LEs can hit it from beneath. It's one of the ways to counter that treb. You kind of under target here from down below there. But the way to counter that best is to have a ballista around here somewhere, as far back as you can get it so that they can't AoE it as easily. Moving on from there, the supply depot here, if you capture an enemy's tower and you want to treb their garrison, you can hit all three of the walls on this side by putting trebs on top of that supply depot and targeting them straight out there. One of the ways that is countered is by an AC down there, kind of where that darker patch is, kind of the tip of the darker patch. It can just barely hit the edge of this the supply depot here with the AC fire. To counter that, which is why I mentioned that so soon, it's always good to have an AC either right here, kind of somewhere in this area, or preferably up, right up in here, where the mortar site would be, on the edge there, kind of. The next defensive emplacement would be to have a treb. Typically you want to kind of have it as tucked back in here as you can. Maybe if you can get it targeted right, you can get it over here so it's a little harder to hit with AC, but your door treb location is right here. Sometimes I've seen it placed here on the depot. It's a little harder to spot when it's on the depot, and you can get it off to the side better so the AC can't hit it. Now for ACs on the wall. Typically, when you're sieging up a tower, you want to look for places like this that, because AOE from meteor shower and a couple other things can kind of just barely reach. So you want to have it as far back as you can possibly get it. That includes, and I'll throw this ballista print I got here to show you. You can see how far down I threw that. Let's see, I'll build this just to see. The farther back you can put it, sometimes you can put it just kind of hanging over the ledge.
Quickly.
That makes it especially harder to hit because they can't see it as well to target it for things like Dragon's Tooth on an LE scepter. And you see how far back that is. No meteor shower can reach that. Maybe with a lucky splash. when you don't have all of those places, you could also put an AC back here on the anywhere that you can. You want to be able to have the giant circle for the AC kind of touch up close to the tower here. So you want to be able to target kind of out in here. See where this guild cata is. So if you kind of come back here, you can see. If you tilt your camera just right, you can hit stuff there, and it works. It works for kind of things over here too. So places like that, a place right here for an AC would be good. Where this ballista is would be good. Also, kind of behind these little ledge things here, always good. Additionally, you have corners like this that are harder to get to. If it's a ram and you put it kind of back here a little bit, and you can still see over that. They'll have to come around to the side here to AoE it, and quite frankly, sometimes they're stupid enough to not do that, and your AC will be able to take down everything. So your AC would be right in here. Another good spot is right here, because you notice the bulge comes out, so it's farther distance back. It's harder to hit with. Takes longer to AoE down. Same with here, because both of these are actually destructible walls. No one ever usually hits this one right here. I'm not sure totally why. I guess the other ones are better to hit, but usually this one comes down from Garrison. No one usually catas from this side. But one right in here is what I was saying, and up here is where I was talking about earlier with the down below there. They won't be able to see that you're on it too easily anyways, and at the same time it won't get hit by the fire that's hitting the trebs that are up here like I was talking about. Now it's always worthwhile, maybe well, here would be a good place for an AC to hit the door. It's always worthwhile to maybe have a couple ACs down in here, so that you can, so while the person is trebbing, someone else can have an AC fire to keep pressure on the players constantly. I believe that is pretty much it for basic siege placements for this tower. You can never have enough ACs, really. So you know, once you get those places covered, feel free to keep lining the wall with them. ACs are ridiculously overpowered, and there's a reason people hate fighting against them. I'll go ahead and move on to attacking the tower. If you're on your home map and you get entrebbed from Garrison, like I mentioned, you only need a couple people to come along and build an AC down here, and you can take out all the trebs that they have on there, and they'll have 300 to 400, 500 supply worth of trebs maybe up there, and you can take it down with one AC, and it just completely destroys all their work. It's a fantastic give back for you. Sometimes I've done this a few times, not very often, because you usually get spotted just because of how exposed you are. You can put a guild cata or something like that right here, and cata down this wall while they're all, like, say the Zerg is trying to take Garrison, and you're kind of a havoc team. They won't see. They may see you on the opposite side here, the normal cata wall. They might not see you if you're kind of tucked back in here. They'll probably hear you if they're not stupid, but there's an awful lot of stupid people in this game. But that's the best way for that wall. This, like I said, this one doesn't really get taken down too often because it's you can't hide like you can over here. The treb from the Garrison doesn't hit it, and there's no real reason except for unless you have a cata up here on your home BL or something like that. Rams obviously on here. I should have brought a ram print to show how to throw the elevated rams, but rams obviously here, if you're attacking this tower, if they have a door treb, it is possible to throw an AC kind of right in here, so you can kind of see over the door. Usually the AC can hit that, so you'll throw the AC down here, take care of the treb while they're uselessly trying to treb the door. Once you get the treb, that's, you know, their supply wasted and on the treb, and they don't have any way to defend it. You throw down some rams. Now with the siege disablers in their current incarnation, it's always best to throw. Go ahead and equip one of these ballistas here. It's always best to throw as far away. The ballista circle is a lot smaller than a ram, but it's always best to throw as far away from the door as you can, so you get the circle right in here on the door, and I think it would actually be targeted somewhere back here. And in that case, if you have that done across the entire thing here, the ram on this side, maybe another ram on this side. Oops. And another and 2 rams on this side, and maybe a couple up here. If they throw a disabler, they'll get maybe 4 out of the 6, and you'll still be able to do plenty of damage to the gate while the disablers are cooling down. This is probably the most often taken down wall in the game, from my experience. You can stick. People always are insist that you can see these 2 katas here. These were taken back by PV door people, but from earlier. Refresh them just to be annoying. Anyways, people like to line this wall with catapults, and like I was talking about with the rams, you want to spread your catapults out. You put one here, and one over here, and it would take 3 disablers to get them all down. And that was, especially with 3 guild katas, even if it's fortified, they drop pretty fast. If you're being sneaky, there's actually a couple other places here. You can hit that wall from right here. You put a guild kata back here, nobody will see you unless they're actually in the tower. They'll hear you. The splash, you kind of aim for right here. The splash will hit that wall. I seldom used one, but I've ganked a few towers this way, and I've seen other people do it to me. Very annoying. You stick a guild kata kind of back in here somewhere, or just a regular kata, and I can't remember if it's full power or not, but there's a significant amount of power on it, and it will arc over this. It will splash on that wall there, the normal garrison treb wall. And usually the only reason people find that one is because they hear it. They never see it. More spots for this whole area is ripe for katas, for kata placement. This is the ballista spot right here I was talking about earlier for taking down siege. But guild kata or katas will hit probably all the way back here, if not farther.
Quickly.
Okay. I'm not sure how far they'll splash back. You'll be able to hit with splash. It'll be pretty far. But once you reach around here, is where you're getting more into treb zone. Up here along here is really good because it's more defensible from a Zerg point of view. If they come rushing out, pretty easy to defend here, because they have to come up the hill back here or up the hill from over there, and they're not chokes, but they're kind of mild chokes, I guess. And trebs can go way back here, and this is kind of the range that the dome has trouble hitting with. The dome treb kind of has trouble hitting with. It's much tougher to hit a treb that's up here. And And while I'm out here, I will mention something I saw the other day that I thought was pretty neat. Normally, I would not be a proponent of building the siege in the safe zone like this. There's a trev spot farther in or somewhere that can hit the other tower that is just really irritating and not fair. But this right here, there's a spot around here somewhere. I'm not sure where it is right off the top of my head. You might have to throw it from down below. But I saw a treb right in here somewhere the other day, and it's pretty clearly set up as a counter treb for trebs out there. The reason I say that I am not against this is because you can AoE it. You could it was close enough to the edge that a couple allies could come up and just AoE it down. Okay, let's get back in here. Okay, before I go down below, I'm going to head over to Garrison and mention a nice... there's a counter treb spot in Garrison. What do you know though? To kind of pull up. Okay, in here, you can kind of come around here and see it. That ledge right there. If you put it on the very tip of that ledge, kind of the middle post there, you can hit with splash. You will hit the wall of that tower. That would be a good, if they take that tower, it's easy to trap it back by one person. They can't really kill it too easily unless they come over here. From here, you can clearly kill that treb if it was right there, and just like fireball one as an Ellie or something like that, or drop your wells on it as a necro. So if you do take that tower and you start getting trebbed, you just bring your Zerg over here, bring a couple people over here, and start hurling fireballs at it, and it should be down in no time. Okay, this is the final attacking position, I'd say. I hesitate to call it that because it's a really terrible spot to treb from. If you're backed into the corner so far to attack this tower that you have to do it from here, and it's not just like a siege clearing treb, this trebbing from here will hit both of those walls on this side, on the right side there. Mostly I see Jinx on BG do it, and they're known for terrible field play, but excellent. They're excellent at being annoying in terms of taking stuff and ninging stuff. But I usually see this when the tower is too sieged up, or actually more often than not, it's because they can't. They don't have the players for whatever reason to bust in and fight to cap it. So they'll come down here for some reason, throw up some ballistas, throw up a treb, and lure you all the way down here so they can die down here. I don't think I've ever seen this tower trebbed from this spot and have it successfully taken. But it is still a way to do damage to the tower, to put pressure on the people there, say if you're trying to pull them off of somewhere else. You can put a counter treb up in the tower. It's very, very difficult to place it. It's usually not worth it. But that's the Northwest Tower. Thank you for watching, and I will have more in the future.